Hey, welcome back to 23 Degrees Sideways, Coyote in the Highlands. This one we're going to talk about variables and uniqueness. I was having a conversation with a friend the other day on a walk, one of our morning walks, about how many variables you can apply to get a median or to have people fit into a median, an average, a range of bell curve. You know, everyone likes to get these single or dual variable situations and make a bell curve and find the average person. Well, you know, you have, if you narrow it down to a couple hundred really easy ones, you've got 100, 200, 500 metrics by which you can measure a person. You know, this is everything from eye spacing to eyeball size to iris capacities to ear location to noses to upper body strength levels to upper body dimensions, hip size to big five traits, psychological traits to Myers-Briggs locations to, you know, religious self-reporting briefs on viewpoints, all sorts of stuff. Okay, let's simple. To bring it down to something that everyone can wrap their head around, you could over the course of a day reasonably write down and explain, say, 200 metrics, 200 variably different things that you can measure about humans. So if you try to find an average with permutations, because this is the thing, once you get over how many permutations? Let me look this up. So let's say we've got 10, and you're doing so if you take 10 variables and you take 4 at a time, you do the basic permutations, it's 5,040. That's 10 objects taken 4 at a time. So you've got 10 total variables, you're measuring 4 at a time. So now you're taking, I don't know how to explain this if you don't have it. If you got 100 variables and you're taking them all at a time, the number of permutations is nearly infinite. You're not going to get a good average. You're not going to be able to find people who qualify as being in the mean on 100 variables. Maybe 3, maybe 4. Maybe, if you're really, really lucky with how you picked your measurement things, you could get 5. Apparently, one of the Ivy League universities made this attempt. They took 50 measurements of freshman students and tried to do this, and the maximum number of variables that they could apply to get an average person who would fit in there was like 3. If they picked more than 3 or picked the wrong 3, they couldn't even calculate an average person. And according to my friend, because I haven't looked this up, but I've seen similar stuff. I've seen similar stuff in psychology statistics where you can't measure. It's a constant problem in psychology that people who don't like psychology won't understand, refuse to understand, is that you're dealing with so many variables that you can only tend to find trends in certain areas with the knowledge that you're missing a lot of the underground, the subconscious, the presuppositional subcurrents that are driving the effects. So you can't find an average, you can't find a mean for, generally speaking, anything more than 2 variables. That's like the classic, first year psych student thing. Okay, so what's the average? What's the mean? Why do I say everyone's an individual? Well, if you can't get a successfully calculated, usable average for a group of people, couple hundred people, using a basic number, 100 variables, 100 things you could come up with and explain in a day on pieces of paper. Anyone can do that. You can't come up with an average for that. Well, that means that you've got these 100 things that combine and permute together to make everyone absolutely unique and individual. There was no duplication. People really don't like this. People really resist this. And I can feel the mental training from my previous, from childhood and stuff, actually sparking a little bit on that and being like, no, there's got to be stuff close enough so you can treat everyone as a class, so you can treat people as a caste, a group, a, shortcut, a shorthand. We all do that, that's minds do that in general. People who are afraid of dogs are not generally afraid of individual dogs, they're afraid of dogs as a class. Now, you can get all of your enlightenment stuff done and lose that class thing, and it's pretty cool. It floats in and out, but everyone is individually unique in an amazing fashion. We've got a couple thousand variables, and you take them all at once, everything, everywhere, all at once, is a recent movie that everyone talks about. Well, think about the variables, everything, everywhere, all at once. It is an infinite range of possibilities. Put that in your hat. So that's it, That's a thinking, thought-based analysis thing to explain to people why everyone is unique. It doesn't mean that I'm specifically right, wrong, in between. There's nothing, I feel like it's a good and adequate and right enough explanation to put into people's narrative minds. But the feeling, the direct experience is 10, 100, 1,000 times bigger, better, more, different. It's every individual human being is a unique spark of the deific. Unique. It's insane to try to put this into words because it never works. We've been trying to put this into the words for at least tens of thousands of years as we try to explain it to people who aren't getting it. You will or you won't. Maybe this lifetime, maybe next lifetime. Maybe you could if you wanted to, probably. But if you don't get it, I understand. You don't get it right now. You will at some point in time. I trust in that. But yeah, every individual human being is completely and incredibly unique, yet at the same time, as I mentioned in the previous video, equally valuable. The value is equal because the value is infinite. That's all there is to it. Infinite value and infinite uniqueness. Damn. People are amazing. Stay sideways.